Good evening. If I can have your attention, we're going to start our regular City Council meeting. And today is the December 4th. I would like to invite everybody to Pledge Allegiance first.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You go faster than I really hard.
I'm trying to move this thing along.
This is going to be a record.
Richard wanted to, leave earlier. Couldn't wait to get out of here. All right. Welcome all to be here. And we have a very light agenda, but we have a full house people here. You know why. Well, first, we'd like to find out the election result. City Clerk?
Yes, Madam Mayor. The City Council held an election on November 6, 2007. The two candidates receiving the most votes were Kris Wang and Gilbert Wong. At this time, I would ask that the City Council adopt the resolution accepting this declaration of election results. Resolution number 07-194.
I'll move resolution 07-194. I'll second that.
You need to keep the light off so you will have a voice. Thank you. Please vote by light.
Oh, we got a mystery vote.
You
That's
already
me.
missed?
No, that's
You
me.
already answered. What happened there?
Gotta move over.
Yeah, too bad.
Motion carries unanimously, I'm pretty sure.
All right. So we got
No
that.
respect.
So I think at this point, I'll ask for the roll-in. A surprise mystery guest coming up on the screen.
I haven't seen this. And I may never.
A true surprise.
With that behind us,
I saw Richard.
hello, I'm Richard Lowenthal. Cupertino is our home. My wife Ellen and I have raised our kids here from birth. Valco badly needs some reinvigoration, some revitalization, and that's going to happen.
I, Richard Lowenthal, do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
California,
And the Constitution of the State of California.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
I was asked by a reporter earlier today, what are some of the things that make Cupertino stand out from and be different from other cities? And one of the comments that I gave Joseph was, you know, in Cupertino with our staff, we are always on the same side of the table. We are always shoulder to shoulder and never toe to toe. And it sure makes the job a lot more fun, I'm sure, for all of us, and a great pleasure for me.
What makes the difference between being the lowest funded school district and the lowest funded city and having such a spectacular place? The difference are the people sitting in here. It's the volunteers. It's the hard work of people in the school district. It's the hard work of people in the city, and it's the volunteers. It's a beautiful day in more ways than one. I hope everybody just enjoys this trail to death and comes out and use it and have a picnic, and we'll work to do more of these kind of things for all of you. Thanks. I want to thank the voters for once again entrusting me with operating this fine city. I appreciate each and every one of the votes that I received, and I will work hard for you, and I will do the best that I can to make Cupertino an even greater place to live and to work and to raise kids.
So this package was donated by Berkeley Gilson, whom I don't know, but somebody there does. Her dad show you this. It's an old Cupertino Courier, or several of them. I should put on my Rotary hat. I had my city hat on just a second ago. Now I have my Rotary hat on, literally. So, since Rotary is one of the producers of the event today, we'd like to put in a t-shirt from today's event. And hopefully, when we open this again, it'll be the 25th annual Jubilee. So we'll put the very first Jubilee t-shirt in.
And I will bear true faith and allegiance
To the Constitution of the United
to
States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution of the State of California.
That I take this obligation freely
That I take this obligation freely. It's a great honor to be the mayor of such a fine city. This is a dream council for me to lead. I am just one of 5 votes and can't do anything without the help of my colleagues. And I am blessed to have such a great team here to help guide the city. First thing you find out when you become a council member is you have no power, because unless you have friends, unless you have 2 people that will vote with you at least, hopefully 4, you can't get anything done. So it is a team effort.
We wanted to get a little bit away from the 3-minute format of you get 3 minutes and then we get an unlimited amount of time to talk back at you. This is really more about a conversation we want to have where you set the agenda and we discuss it among the council members. We are not necessarily going to be in agreement. It is very likely that Orrin and I or Patrick and Dolly will have a difference of opinion, so don't expect us to come to consensus. Tonight we're just going to talk about our views, our individual views.
My great pleasure to be able to hand the last check of this 4-year campaign to furnish our city library.
This job takes a lot of time. You know, I've worked it out. We get about $1.92 an hour for the job. But more than that, it's the time. We're here, most council meetings end up about midnight. We're here. We start about 6, we go home about midnight, and we work a lot. And as Sandy trained us, we meet with residents practically every day. Today I had 3 meetings with residents, and it happens every day. It's a very demanding job, and you can't do it without your family behind you. And my wife, Ellen, here has been just a rock of support for me. So, Ellen, thank you very much.
And if you don't mind, I'll say a few words to kick this off a little bit. I think tonight you can see the best argument against term limits. On the other hand, another 4 years on council, at the rate he was becoming more and more handsome, I think Brad Pitt would be in real serious problems after that. Richard, as you all know, has been an absolutely wonderful council member. He is the champion for building community. He was always even-tempered, even though he felt strongly about issues, and was always sensitive to the opposing views. Never mean-spirited with the opposition group. Always working to build consensus and bring people together. Obviously, after an enormously successful career in the high-tech, high-pressure business, he retired, so to speak, but you know what he did. He retired to sit on just about every board and commission that anybody knew anything about, the CCS and the Y and all of them, the Fremont School District Foundation and so on and on and on. And then really threw himself into this job as council member and as mayor, and was always a good sport. Pleasure for us to work with. I don't know if the camera can catch this, but I want to give you an idea of what, I'll put it here so it'll be kind of steady. See if you can get a close-up of that picture to show what a good sport he is. This is our mayor kissing a pig. We had a city employee party, and the person who was doing this had to make a little fun with the mayor, and he was just a wonderful good sport about it. So I'd like to present you with this picture. I know it will have a prominent place in the other gift. We thought, what do you give somebody who literally does have everything, including a beautiful wife and 2 beautiful daughters and just everything anybody could ever want? And being a champion of the trails as he was, we, about a year ago, began collecting various seeds and whatnot. And this is this little straight stick here, which is actually a tree and has leaves on it in the right season, is a buckeye, California buckeye. And so we harvested these, and we've been growing these little plants. So our thought was, we will give you this to take care of for a year, and then when it's time to put it in the ground, we will. You can bring it back to us, and we will put it in the ground and remember you by this California buckeye. So
Try not to kill it.
yeah, we'll take care of hauling it back and forth. But on behalf of the staff, we appreciate your time with us, and we will cherish our memories. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave, very much.
So Richard, you want to come forward to the front? We got something for you. Yeah, we got something for you too. You and I started this public service at the same time in early 1999, right? Way back. Well, you probably be way back. Parking record commissioner.
Yes, we did.
We did it on the same mayor at the same time, right? And it took me 5 years to get ready to move up to the council, and it's only 1 year for him. How you did it? Impatient. And Richard had done a great job, and we all know that. And sometimes I had to follow him, and I'm so, fortunate to have 5 years following you. And I tell you, I know it's very hard for me, and I don't know it's hard for Richard, but I can tell you it's really a tough job. And 8 years after, you can build a company. And that's why Richard chooses to go back to build a company now. So I'm glad that you're all here today. And this is really just a little bit rewarding as serving on the council when we are dealing with tough decisions for the city. And so we are the group make decision on the budget. We watch the tax dollars and everything. We can't really give Richard a whole big gift, even though we wish to do so. But what we can do is accumulate that 8 years that he's serving on council, every little piece of memory, we collect them in a box, and I will want to present it to you, Richard.
And it locks.
It's locked. And that has like 2 terms as a mayor's and your state of cities and the contribution, every little pieces you wanted to look at that.
It's locked.
It's locked. So you got to take home and Alan to lock it again. No, don't look at it again. All right. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Wait.
Thank you. So I'm going to now have my colleague, if a colleague would like to make any comment, or it will be open to the public. Richard, Orrin, you'd like to go first?
Sure, I'll start. So you think it took you long to get on a council after Richard? Took me a lot longer. So most of you know that I met Richard when we ran against each other in 1999, and it's one of the pleasures of Cupertino politics, at least, that the people can run for election and build friendships actually and stay friends through it. The campaigns typically are positive and whatever. So. Richard became a good friend. He introduced me to Rotary, which obviously has taken over a big part of my life now, and I'm happy for that. And I've learned a ton of stuff from Richard, both here and within Rotary, and just want to thank him for that. I want to thank him for being a good friend.
Thank you, Orrin. Been my pleasure.
Dolly.
Richard, I'm going to thank you. First, though, by thanking Ellen and Lindsay and Kimmy for sharing your dad's time with us. On many a night and
Although
many
I look
a long
like
night.
it, I'm not really Ellen's dad, but I know I look.
Well, no, yes.
And she looks like
It could be the gray. Oh, sorry. Anyways.
What's bad is as soon as you get rid of the fat, you turn gray. So no winning.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
It is. But you and I have worked together on a number of projects, and I've appreciated that. We've argued on a number of projects, and I've appreciated that too, because I think without good, articulate interaction, maybe not the best decision is made. And so when we push back on each other, at the end of the evening, it was always a thank you and see you next time on whatever project we're working on next. So good luck in your next endeavor. And we hope to see you, on the bike somewhere.
Yeah, good.
On trails somewhere.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dolly.
And I know a lot of people like to say a few words in the public to Richard, so we'll invite you to the front. There's no car needed. You just lined up there, and I hope you just be concise as possible and keep it half of the private talking. But here, it's a public. All right, we got Scott as a person, or as an individual, or as a chamber? Chamber, great.
So, my name is Scott Stauffer. I'm the president of the Cupertino Chamber of Commerce. And Richard, we want to thank you for all the hard work you've done, working hard to represent the interests of the business community.
Feelings
of course,
mutual.
in Cupertino. And we have some flowers, of course, to say thank you.
You-
And I'm
you
sure
could-
your wife would appreciate
Yes, you
what
could deliver them right there. That'd be great. That's what I would do.
Thanks again, and we look forward to great citizen support.
Thanks, Scott. See you tomorrow, Thursday.
Hey, Richard, it's always a mixed feeling to see you up there and retiring from the council. On one hand, I think you have more time to spend on your new business venture and more Rotary project and more golf and to be with Alan. May not be in that order, by the way. But on the other hand, you have so much to offer. You have done so much for the city. I really hate to see you go, and you've been very instrumental in providing leadership of many community projects. I hope you continue to stay connected, and with that, wish you the best of luck and your wonderful new green venture.
Hey, thanks.
Congratulations
Thanks,
for
Steve,
you to
very
take time off now.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Here's my #1 fan. And good pal.
My name is Michael Gottwald. I'm a friend of Richard Lowenthal's, and I would like outgoing Councilmember Richard Lowenthal to step forward, please.
It sounds like...
I would like to present outgoing Councilmember Richard Lowenthal with this in remembrance of his service on the Cupertino City Council.
Who's that guy? Who's the tall guy? That's not me.
And for everything he has done in the community for everyone. Tonight, we honor and salute the outstanding accomplishments and contributions and achievements that Richard made for 8 years on the Cupertino City Council. Thanks for all that you have done for me and your family over the years, and I truly appreciated Richard, Ellen, Lindsay, and Kimmy. Thanks for your outstanding service and commitment to the youth and everyone in the city of Cupertino. Thanks for serving us all with your heart and compassion for us all. Richard, you are a hero and an inspiration to us all. We will miss you and wish you the best with your future. Goodbye, my friend and mentor and role model for everyone, Richard Lowenthal. And now, for one last time, let's applaud and thank the outstanding Richard Lowenthal for what he has done and accomplished for the city of Cupertino. Goodbye, my friend. Yeah. And here's the bag. And open the gift. Oh, there we go. You will love it. For his memento.
It's a new set of golf clubs.
My goodness, that was so eloquent and so well put for Mayor Richard Lowenthal. I'm Jennifer Griffin, and Richard has been an important part of our experience since my neighborhood of Rancho Rinconada annexed to Cupertino in 2000. We were in the county before. I will say in my whole life I had never had a mayor or a city council because I have lived in the county most of my life. But having seen Richard set such a fine example for the city, role model for the city, been absolutely an impassioned servant of his feelings for the city, I have been very, very impressed, and I think that he has given Cupertino so much of his time. I think he has everything that a city council member and a mayor should be, and I think he has set a fine example for all of us. Thank you so much, Richard, and I hope we see you at the state level. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Good evening, Madam Mayor Kris Wang and members of the City Council, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to honor Richard Lowenthal, and what can you say? Well, first of all, I'd like to say, hey, thanks for those prompt answers to my emails. One of the first things I ever heard criticizing the City Council and the city staff was, hey, we never get an answer. Boy, that doesn't happen anymore. You must have set a good example. And I do thank you for that. And what else to say? Well, my name is Mavis Smith. What can I say about Richard Lowenthal? Not a whole lot, except thank you, 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 and now I've run out of fingers. Very good luck in the future, and thanks so much for all you've done for all of us.
Thank you, Mavis.
Good evening, everybody. Just here to say thanks to Richard Lowenthal, who's been a dear friend and a mentor, and very supportive of promoting cultural diversity in the city of Cupertino, which makes Cupertino the beautiful and wonderful city it is. And, well, he's going to be still in Cupertino, so we'll see lots and lots more of him.
I will.
And now, of course, I'm a colleague of his at Rotary, so that brings us more closer. The other thing I wanted to say was that I was noticing Richard a picture of health when he joined the Cupertino City Council. And I think Dave probably has worked him so hard in the last 8 years that we thought, you know, we do something about that to bring him back to that kind of a form.
I'm
if
getting
that
there.
suits you. So friend Ram Gopal here started a bakery. And I think we would like to see you more often to put you a picture of health. But we do have a cake here. For all of you, in fact, and you can start with that.
Hey.
And thank you so much.
Thank you,
everything.
Mahesh.
Bye.
Thanks very much.
Hi, Richard. This is Hemant from California Cricket Academy, and I'd like to thank you for all your support in getting the academy started, as well as continued support throughout in our growth and some of the projects that we had undertaken. So thanks a lot, and it was really pleasure working with you. We'll miss you for sure. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, Hemant. Uh-oh.
Hi, Richard.
Here comes trouble.
We thought we'd team tag you, challenge you on your last evening. It's hard to see you step down, Richard, because I know how valuable you are sitting up in that chair, because I've been up there with you, and I've been down here when you've been up there. And this community has been blessed to have you as their representative. You've done an incredibly fine job. I found you to always be bright, articulate. You study the issues, you listen to everyone, you make up your mind based on the moral values that you have, and vote the way your conscience tells you to vote. And I think we probably agreed 99% of the time.
About right.
But even the times we didn't, it was good, honest debate and disagreement, and it was all for the benefit of this community, which is what this office should be about. It should be about what's best for the community, not necessarily what's best for the individual. And so to your family, I will also say thank you, because I'm well aware of the kinds of strains that responsibility puts on your family, and the choices you made to be out in the community constantly, and you still are, and you still will be. And I just hope for you that, as it has been for me the 2 years I've been off of the council, that as you walk around this community, people still come up to you and say thank you and remember your service with great fondness and with great respect, as I always will. It was a pleasure to serve with you. It's a wonderful pleasure to be your friend and to thank you for all the years you've given for the community. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Sandy. Thanks for the mentorship. You taught me how.
Hi, Honorable Mayor and members of the council. I have the pleasure to serve with Richard for almost 6 years, and 2 times as mayor. When I came in, I was brand new, and you were the mayor at that time, and you have been a really great mentor to me. And I really appreciate that. And all this time, I believe that we have the best city council, and we learned to agree and disagree. And it was great, and I really appreciate that. One thing that is missing from the slide is that on July 4th, every year you had a special dress of one of our former presidents. I hope you'll stay involved and be that person again on July 4th. Once again, thank you very much for all these years serving the community, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Patrick, very much.
Good evening. My name is Fariba Nejad. I just want to say thank you, Richard, and thank you, everyone. Richard, thank you very much for your vision, your leadership, and your commitment to the community. Without your vision, we could not, become successful in all the community events that you were helping us and promoting. Thank you.
Thank you for the same.
Good evening. Richard, on behalf of Cupertino Community Services and myself personally, I want to thank you for all that you do for the community and making sure that no one in Cupertino or anyone in the West Valley goes hungry or unsheltered. And so thank you so much for being a champion of the community.
Thank you, Naomi.
I'm Melinda Cervantes. I'm the Santa Clara County Librarian, and it's my pleasure to come and personally thank Richard for his 8 years of service on the County Library's Joint Powers Authority Board. This is one of those rather quiet boards that goes about its business, making sure that our libraries are open and operating and safe places for all of the residents of Cupertino to come and learn, and our other communities. And some of the highlights of working with Richard over the last 5 years not only include the opening of the beautiful, still rather new Cupertino Library, and adding back some additional hours of service. But certainly very early on, there was the very important passage of a library measure, and I would be remiss if I didn't also acknowledge Dolly Sandoval, who and many others who have worked in this community to see that it's supported. I have one very fond and funny memory, and that is of one of the fundraising events where it seems to me that Richard was spotted in a Goodwill store shopping for an outlandish outfit, and during the course of the evening there were a lot of auctions of very fun events and activities. And I don't remember the specific, but I do remember the outfit, and I wish I had a photo.
Just us girls, I think it was called.
Jugs, I believe.
Girls.
So Richard, thank you very much for your leadership and your vision and your support of the libraries as a whole, and I hope we can go on, all of us, to make you proud.
Hey, thank you, Melinda. Thanks for coming out another night.
Hello. I really hate to see you go, Richard. I've known you for a long time, and I know how hard you have worked for the community, and you help everybody in the community. But it's not too late. We can sign you up for 2008 election. And Mavis mentioned about the reply to the emails. You're the only one that 5:30 in the morning replies to emails when I send you out. And I hope that you do not change your email so I can continue to send you an email and get your advice.
It's already changed.
Best of luck to you, and thank you again. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Hey, Chihuahua.
My name is Chihuahua Wei. On behalf of Cupertino's Organization of Special Needs Families, we wanted to give our sincere thanks to your help and support in the past 2 years. I think many Cupertino residents feel so fortunate. I think we have someone like Richard we can call our mentor, our teacher, and our friends. There are many first-generation immigrants like me being welcomed into this beautiful city, and I think now we all have a model to follow Richard's steps, and we are all giving back to this community and make this a better and a beautiful city. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Chihuahua, very much.
Hello, Richard. I'm Hema Kundargi. I've been involved in 3 different groups so far and have always enjoyed your support and encouragement as a Fine Arts Commissioner. I always enjoyed your gung-ho approach of getting art into the city. And as a part of the Diwali organizing committee involved, really liked the way you were such a big sport about taking part in the fashion show and wearing the Indian costume. I was looking forward to see a picture of that, but I guess that was missing.
I'll send you one. I have some.
Yeah. And finally, as a Library Foundation, Cupertino Library Foundation Board Director, really enjoy your support and looking forward to see more from you.
Thank you, Hema. Thanks for teaching us all how to cook, Hema.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you, Richard.
Don, talk about mentors.
It was great.
When did we started serving in probably bike and pedestrian days, 1997, I guess.
Yeah, back in the last century.
Yeah, there you go.
It was a real pleasure serving with you, and it's been a real pleasure watching you continue on with the fine government that we've got here in Cupertino. And thanks to all of you up there, the staff and the council members. Great community, great leadership. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. It's Don Burnett, former mayor.
Richard, thank you.
You're welcome.
You have been my mentor. I've watched you up here on television. We've had long-running email conversations and long-running personal conversations. And your insight, your enthusiasm, your energy, it just totally amazes me how you can get to do so many things and do them all so well. And I'm certainly going to miss you. As I said, you've really been an inspiration to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Miller. Appreciate it.
Good evening, members of the council. Richard, I'd like to thank you for the last 8 years that you served the city.
Thank you, Tia.
But I'm also very hopeful tomorrow morning as you step into that Measure X building as a private citizen for the first time, that your new venture would not only benefit Cupertino, I believe that your venture will benefit the whole humankind. And I thank you.
Thank you, Tian. This is Board of Trustee member from the Santa Clara
Oh, I
County
forgot.
Office
Yeah,
of Education.
my name is Tian Ho. I'm a member of the Santa Clara County Board of Education.
Thank you, Tian.
Thank you.
So, Gilbert, is this your baby?
A very big baby, 3 years old. And we can wave to the Madam Mayor and say hi. There we go. My name is Gilbert Wong, Madam Mayor and fellow council members. I want to say thank you very much, Richard, for your service over the past 8 years. It's going to be a huge shoe to fill in. And I think that you did a lot for the community. Richard has never been afraid of challenges or resolving problems. He was very instrumental in meeting community concerns or talking to different community members to resolve our concerns. So it's going to be a huge shoes to fill in for the next 4 years. Thank you very much.
Please welcome my replacement here, Gilbert Wong.
Good evening, John Hiracal from the Sheriff's Office on behalf of Sheriff Lori Smith. She's out of town today, so she can't make it, but on behalf of the Sheriff's Office, we appreciate all the support you gave over the years to us, providing public safety to the citizens of Cupertino. I personally appreciate the help that you gave us. You know, there were times when the crime spiked, when you were mayor. We came to you, and you tried to give us solutions and helped us work out those issues. And I think we worked very well together, and we appreciate the support. And I'll try to remind the guys out in the field to remember those things that you did for us versus all the budget cuts.
Thanks, John. Madam Mayor, could I have a minute to respond?
I just gonna say that this is no more people here. Okay, I know many of you really would like to say thank you to Richard, but you didn't want to say in the public. So holding on, and later we have reception out there, and you can talk to him privately. Now I would like to hear from Richard.
There's always email, too, as you've heard. Well, I just want to thank everybody for coming tonight, and you've been all great colleagues. What I said in the video in a few places about teamwork is what this job is all about. You can do nothing at all in this job without two more votes, at least. And I've had great colleagues to work with, and the world's best staff. I don't think everybody knows and appreciates how great our staff is, how small and efficient our staff is, and how much expertise they have. So I'm just looking at Carol. Carol, every year Carol wins awards for the best accounting job of any city in the state. Every year she wins the awards. Every year Public Works wins awards. Our planning department wins award. Huh? Do you not? You do. We have more plaques than will fit on a wall. And we've won awards in community development. We've won awards in Public Works. We've won awards in the way that we interact with our community, and we just have the greatest staff you could possibly hope for, and with Dave Knapp at the helm, that's what makes the city really go. So if we could have a round of applause for Dave and his staff. If you look at the various things we've been involved in and accomplished, the things like the senior center, the library, the teen center, whatever, there is nothing that any individual can really take responsibility for. You can't get anywhere with it. When you're mayor, you get a little influence on the agenda. That's as far as it goes. After that, you're pretty much a citizen. But the one thing that you do get when you get elected, when thankfully you supported me at the polls, is access to these wonderful people. They'll return your phone call or your email. And whether it's my colleagues on the council, my former colleagues like Sandy and Don on the council, or all of you members of the community, it's just that I can get to you and ask for your help that makes it so we can accomplish things. So I just appreciate the teamwork, and especially of the city, my colleagues on the council, and my family. This is a hard job. It's hard on a family. And the reason is it's designed so that you can have a full-time job in the day, which means that every meeting you go to is either at 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. And it makes for a long day. A day as a council member starts at 6 in the morning and goes until midnight. And it takes a lot of time, but mostly it's hard on your family. My daughter Kimmy is here, my wife Ellen, my closest friends, they've all had to put up with my absence. Lindsay, who's spoken about me here in the past, can't be here today. She's up in Seattle going to school in a snowstorm. But all of them have had to compromise in their lives to support me, and I will never forget it. And if there's anything you want to give me credit to, it goes first to my family. So thank you for coming tonight.
Yeah, we have one seat reserved for Richard in the front row. Thank you. And now we move to the oath of office.
Yes, Madam Mayor, it's my pleasure to invite you up to the front of the stage so I can swear you in again to the City Council.
All right, thank you. So I stand
If you'll
there?
stand over
I'll
here,
stand
please.
there.
We're a little
All right.
far apart, but that's so the
Well,
camera
it's
can
only
see your
second
face.
turn, still not
Yes.
familiar with stuff. Put a piece right here?
Yes, that's
All right,
perfect.
like
Raise your
this?
right hand.
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, both foreign and domestic?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear that you will take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion?
Yes.
And do you swear that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which you are about to enter for the city of Cupertino?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And now it's time for Gilbert Wong to be sworn into the City Council. And
Gilbert, there's another one there.
And swearing him in will be Betty Yee, Chairwoman of the California State Board of Equalization.
Thank you very much. It's my great honor and pleasure to deliver the oath of office to Gilbert Wong. Please repeat after me. I, then state your name,
I, Gilbert Wong,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend
to support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter
upon which I will about to enter
for the city of Cupertino.
for the city of Cupertino.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Gilbert, this way.
Oh, that's cute.
Whoa, good step.
Or they're too young to understand what that means. Until they get into the age, they will know. Big sacrifice.
Yeah. Thank you. Allison, this way.
Congratulations, Gilbert. Consider that empty seat. That one? Okay, we're going to hold the public comments later on. Now we move to mayor and vice mayor. May I entertain a motion to
Yes,
nomination?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I'd like to nominate Dolly Sandoval for mayor.
I'll second that.
Wow. All right, please vote by light.
Excuse me, Madam Mayor, but we'll need to do this by voice vote since we haven't had a chance to change the names.
Okay.
All right.
So may I ask, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. Now I'd like to entertain a motion for nomination of my vice mayor.
I'd like to make a nomination of Orrin Mahoney as vice mayor.
I would second that.
Please vote by the voice.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And so now it's time for me to give the oath of office to the new mayor.
There we go.
Can you tell if my mic's on? Is my mic on? Yes.
I know, I did that.
Here's a microphone.
Make it balance.
I'm going to make you say all the words. I'm going to make Kris do that.
All the ones I know, or?
Yes, all of them. Raise your right hand, please. Please state your name.
I, Dolly Sandoval,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend the Constitution of the United States
to support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the
Constitution of the State of California.
that
I've heard it a time or two.
that I take this obligation freely
That I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter
for
the city of Cupertino.
for the city of Cupertino. Thank you. Right now?
Yeah, but take a big
Orrin
photo.
has to wait.
You gotta wait.
Go.
Here, we're gonna.
All right, who's shooting
officially.
this?
Let me get out of your way.
Thanks.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
And now I'd like to swear in our new vice mayor. And raise your right hand, please. State your name.
I, Orrin Mahoney,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend
to support and defend
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution of the State of California,
That I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion,
And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter
upon which I am about to enter
for the city of Cupertino.
for the city of Cupertino.
Thank you, Orrin. Congratulations.
So the first, under my first act of official duty here, Kris, if you would stand up, please. You have faithfully served this city council for 4 years, and last year as mayor, and I'd like to hand you your gavel and plaque dedicating that as such.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
And I have a gift from the city staff, but I thought I would say a few words first, if I may. Anybody that knows Mayor Wang knows that this is not a part-time person. This is a person who throws herself into everything that she does, and being mayor was no different than other things that she has done. She threw herself into it wholeheartedly. She listened carefully to community members, lots of community members, on lots of occasions. She's extremely hardworking. In fact, I knew when she read in detail the entire Heart of the City plan, I knew the staff was in trouble right away because she found some inconsistencies in there that had existed for some time that nobody had actually picked up. So she reads all the material. She has a fierce sense of justice and a very even-handed way of dealing with issues. She's been an enormous supporter of city staff, and for that we're very thankful, and we have a little gift that I'll give you in a second. She is honest, conscientious, and caring. She has a huge heart. The community has been very lucky to have her as mayor, and we continue to be very lucky to have her as our council member. And I'd like to present you. I think I'll pull it out.
Got it to your camera right here.
That's
oh,
right.
wow.
Ooh.
Ooh.
If you could get a close-up, that would be nice.
Camera? Wow, even have my name.
It's a crystal vase, and it commemorates her time as mayor of City of Cupertino. Thank you very much, Kris.
Thank you so much.
Look at this here, the display. As the incoming mayor, Kris, I just want to thank you for your year of service here, both doing what is done by the mayor, which is more academic, running of the meeting, setting the agendas, etc., but being active out in the community, making sure to introduce the council and bring them up on stage whenever you are speaking someplace, and making this a team effort. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I'd like to say a few words, and I first want to start with a couple of folks in our audience who I think deserve equally as much recognition as the four of us sitting up here on the city staff. And these are people who work on behalf of the city of Cupertino day in and day out, as many of you do. But if I could quickly recognize in our audience this evening, some mentioned they were here and some did not. But we have former mayors and council members, Laura Lee Sorensen, Don Burnett. Don Burnett came to the microphone. Don, thank you. Sandy James and Patrick Watt. We are truly a rich community, one that really has a great working relationship with both our neighbors and our fellow elected officials. We have Councilmember John Barton from the city of Palo Alto with us this evening. Fremont Union High School District Trustees Barbara Nunez and Hung Wei. San Jose Evergreen Community College Trustee Randy Okamura. Cupertino Elementary School District Trustee Gary McHugh. And newly elected Phyllis Vogel. My very good friends have also joined me. My friend Mike Potter from the Open Space District. And former Vice Mayor of San Jose, Cindy Chavez. Thank you so much for coming to tonight's celebration. I look forward to being the mayor in the year 2008. I appreciate the faith placed in me by my colleagues to fulfill this assignment. As many of you know, I'm a whitewater enthusiast, often taking off midsummer for several weeks to raft rivers throughout this entire region. I'm generally the guide of my boat, acting as a rudder for the paddlers, who are, in essence, the engine. Working as a team, the paddlers and I, if all goes well, raft the river successfully. Everyone stays in the boat. We work hard and have fun at the same time. Once in a while, someone gets out of paddling synchronization. We may encounter a major rapid, or some other bizarre thing happens, and someone gets thrown from the boat and inadvertently swims a rapid. In the end, though, we pick them up, help them back in the raft to face the next challenge. I believe rafting is a great metaphor for being the next mayor of Cupertino. We, the city council, the staff, the residents, community organizations, and volunteers work hard together and will create many successes. But no one is perfect, so undoubtedly there will be issues or topics that we don't all agree on, a rapid in the river, so to speak. Yet we are a team, always working together for the betterment of our city. I picture myself at the helm of the council, setting the course and guiding the city in a positive direction. We may encounter a few rapids on the way, but after we dust ourselves off, we'll all be better for the experience. This is the beginning of my 17th year in elective office and about 28 years of involvement in both public and community service. Growing up here in Silicon Valley and not too far really from City Hall has given me a unique perspective on the evolution of this valley and why we must embrace change in order to have a better tomorrow. Over the years, I have encountered many dedicated organizations that help build our community. These organizations include other governmental agencies, such as County Fire, the deputy sheriffs, our library team. It includes a multitude of civic organizations and wonderful nonprofit organizations, as well as our local school districts and the faith-based communities. With these groups and others, we have a vast pool of residents who volunteer their time to help build a better Cupertino. I'd be remiss and in deep trouble if I didn't take a moment to recognize my family that's here. My mom, Pua, my dad, Frank, my sister, Elizabeth, and her partner, Warren, my sister Denise and her partner Ashley, my brother Frank, and my nieces Stormy and Catherine. I'm grateful that Ed has been my partner throughout this endeavor for so many years, and I'm blessed to have so many friends. So many friends and colleagues here this evening to share my first duty as mayor. On Wednesday, January 30th, I'll deliver an in-depth view of where I hope the city and I will travel over the next year, and I hope you'll all join me at that State of the City address. For now, though, let's celebrate before the hard work begins.
We're going to open to the public.
I might just open it to the public.
Madam Mayor, can
Can we say something? Yeah.
Okay. Good evening. I want
Councilmember Wong.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Nice ring.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm going to read this so I won't be so nervous. Good evening. I want to welcome my family, friends, and supporters to join me tonight for this special milestone for the swearing-in ceremony. I want to take a moment to say thank you to Chairman Betty Yee of the California State Board of Equalization, who represents 8.5 million people, including all of Cupertino. Betty represents the diversity of the state and is a leader as a woman and as a fellow Asian Pacific American. Thank you, Betty, for your visit here to Cupertino and swearing me in. Thank you. I would quickly like to introduce my relatives and family. From my wife's side, all the way from San Francisco, I want to introduce Calvin and Tina Kwan. They have two sons, Daniel and Charles, and Daniel's here tonight. My aunt, Lisa Kwan. I want to introduce my in-laws. My in-laws were very special to me. They've been living with us, helping us with the children. And I want to introduce Mr. Taiko Kwan and Mrs. Chi Fong Jung. On my side, I have two cousins here. From Milpitas, standing in the lobby here, is Francis Lau, and from San Jose, Kimberly Lin. I want to go ahead and introduce my parents. My mother is ill, so she couldn't make it tonight, Lillian Wong, but my father is here, Alan Wong. Some of you have already met my two kids, Allison, who is 8 years old, and Emily, who is 3 years old. And of course, the most important person is my wife, Helen Kwan. My experience in leadership in the Planning Commission, Chamber Board, School Site Council has given me endless opportunities to serve the community. 4 years ago, I had an opportunity to run for office, but I decided not to because of the young age of our first daughter, Allison. 2 years ago, I decided not to run for City Council due to our second daughter, Emily, who was 9 months old. It was a very hard decision. Through careful consideration and strong support of my wife, Helen, she saw my passion to serve the community and to make Cupertino a better place to live for my daughters and all the children of the community. I want to take a moment to acknowledge my wife, Helen Kwan, to allow me to be away from her and to serve the Cupertino community. I want to take a moment to say thank you to voters of Cupertino. I would not be here with the wide and diverse support of the community. I had a great team of volunteers to help precinct walk, phone bank, lick stamps, put up lawn signs, and the list goes on. I call them the Go Gilbert team. I want to acknowledge just two of them. The first one is Gloria Nito, who's just wonderful. She handles my day-to-day operations and kept me focused and calm. She did a great job on my website and my email letter. The second person I want to introduce is Timothy Tom, and where's Timothy? And he was wonderful in helping me organize my field operations. I would like to say thank you to Dr. Michael Chang, and former mayor, as my mentor in his wonderful program, the Asian Pacific American Leadership Institute at De Anza College, for giving me the extra push. Dr. Chang unfortunately has a class this evening, and he has not arrived yet. I also want to point out two community groups that were very supportive, including the Magnificent Seven and the Cupertino Citizens for Fair Government. I look forward to working with our city manager, Dave Knapp, and our senior staff. I look forward to working with my colleague, Kris Wang, Vice Mayor Orrin Mahoney, and our new mayor, Dolly Sandoval. We live in a beautiful city with good companies like Apple, Symantec, and HP, as well as some of the best schools in the country, from elementary to community college. In conclusion, I look forward to serving you as your city council member. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to also make a comment, very quick one. This past year has truly been one of the most exciting, exhausting, and gratifying year that I ever had. Being your mayor in the past year, I took it very seriously to fulfill my duties and responsibilities. I really wanted to thank our staff for their help and support, especially Dave Knapp and Chuck Killing, for all of their experience and wisdom. From this role, I have truly appreciated how talented our staff is and how lucky we are as a city to have such a dedicated team. I would also like to thank my council colleagues for bearing with me during the learning process and for the support that allowed us to work like an iron team. Together, we make a lot of tough decisions, and although we did not always agree, I think we always came to a consensus that our decisions were in the best interest of our community. It has indeed been a great experience for me. Thank you, community members, for staying behind me, allow me to lead the city that we all are so proud to be a part of. I would also like to take this opportunity to welcome our new Councilmember Gilbert Wong for joining us. Gilbert, that we know each other for a long time. And I know that in the past 4 years where I was on council, everywhere I went, I see you around there. So Gilbert has a big heart, and he's ready to serve, and he's willing to serve. I look forward to work with you, Gilbert. And I have full faith that you will be a great asset to the team. Dolly and Orrin, I look forward to continue to work with you too, and under your leadership as the mayor and vice mayor. Thank you for being the great team members last year, supporting me.
Thank you.
So thank
You're
the
welcome.
community members as well, all being here tonight. Thanks.
I'll keep it much shorter.
That chocolate in front is melting.
Mine will be real short.
Almost like blasphemy, but I'll let you speak this time.
So most of you know that normally I would not be vice mayor, but with Patrick moving on to greener pastures and leaving that spot open, I had the opportunity. So I plan to do the most with it. I want to reiterate what you heard earlier about the partnership in a city. Most people take it for granted. I took it for granted for a long time that almost every community had it, where the schools work together with the companies, work together with the chamber, work together with the nonprofits. It's not true. It's really something special we have here. We got to keep building on that. And I also have to thank my wife. And that's it.
So on our agenda is the time for you to make comments, public comments, to welcome or thank any of us. And while you may want to come up and do that, let me suggest something, that the only thing standing between all of us celebrating together out in the foyer would be anybody who had a dying desire to come up and make a public comment. Okay, Richard.
Sorry, I can't get enough of it. It's so good to be here. Can I rant about something? That house is too big and mine is too small.
Get that timer going.
Oh, 3 minutes. Well, I can't give it up.
Time's up.
First of all, I have to say, the city is in great hands, and I'm really excited about the team that follows me. It's a great team, and I hope people can applaud you all as a team as opposed to just as individuals. So our new leadership team, if you would bear with me. But the real reason I came up was to thank an individual. I don't know if people know that the historian of Cupertino, our conscience, if you will, is Chuck Killian. And Chuck is retiring this year after 30 zillion years. How many? 30, approximately 39 years as our city attorney. A great partner to anybody that sits up here, keeps us out of trouble, and boy, we try to get into it. But Chuck is the memory of our city. We will dearly miss Chuck in this city as the guy that remembers how it was whenever ago, and the guy who frequently said, "I've been there. You don't want to go there, Richard." So, Chuck, you've done a ton for this city. You have kept us efficient. You've allowed us to go right to the edge of the law, but stay out of hot water. And thanks for 39 years of great service. Chuck Killian.
I'm Michael Gottwald, and I'm friends of you all. And I'd like to thank Mayor Kris Wang for her mayorship and welcoming her back to the council for 4 more years, and also welcoming new Councilmember Gilbert Wong and new Mayor Dolly Sandoval and new Vice Mayor Orrin Mahoney. And now we thank outgoing Mayor Kris Wang for her mayorship and for what she has done for the city of Cupertino, and welcome him back to the Cupertino City Council. We would also like to welcome to the Cupertino City Council Gilbert Wong and new Mayor Dolly Sandoval and new Vice Mayor Orrin Mahoney, and wish all of them the best for the coming year. Also, I'd like to thank Chuck Killian, who's retiring after 39 years on the Cupertino City Council, for everything he has done for the city of Cupertino. Wish him well in his retirement.
Thank you, Michael.
So very briefly again, Kris, we want to thank you for all the great work you did as mayor. And Bob?
And Dolly, we wish to congratulate you, and we have flowers.
Thank you. We like flowers.
Kris has a vase.
Come on up.
Kris needs some flowers. She's got a vase.
Thank you. Yeah, I use the flowers. They're beautiful.
Oh, you have to work 4 years.
Good evening again.
Thank you.
I just want to welcome you. Welcome, Mayor Gilbert, and thanks, Mayor Wang, and welcome, Dolly, and thank you very much for being here, and thank you for having a great team again. One more time, we will be more than happy to serve in the community with all of you. Thank you.
Okay.
Shouldn't you be studying?
No. Actually, all my homework's at home, Aunt Dolly. Thanks. I just want to say good luck, and I know that you'll do very well because when we were rafting, you wrapped us around a rock, but you were able to get us off. So I know that you can, this is just like rafting, you can do it. So,
thank you.
Good luck.
Oh, I get a big hug from that one.
I want to congratulate Dolly, the mayor, and then Orrin Mahoney, the vice mayor. It's great to have you here, and we're looking forward to work with you in our community. I want to welcome Gilbert to be the new elected council. You worked very hard, started campaign very early, and ran a really honest campaign. I want to congratulate you, and you'll do a good work. But most important, I want to thank our former mayor, Kris Wang, for a great year. We had a lot of challenges. I think you came through real well, working together with our communities, and I think that you impressed me as one of the hardest working mayor in Cupertino. And we want to appreciate your great work, and we're looking forward for your strong leadership, and along with Dolly and Orrin and Gilbert in the next several years. Once again, thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you, Patrick. Ashley, as you're walking up to the mic, let me just say I see Marty Miller as the last person in line. While I love admiration, I'd really rather be out there talking with y'all. So after Marty speaks, I think unless somebody really has something dying to say at the mic, then maybe we'll all adjourn to the foyer for a little celebration. Okay.
All right, I'll be brief, I promise. My name is Ashley. I'm from Congressman Mike Honda's office, and I'm just here to present a few certificates from my boss. Unfortunately, he can't be here tonight. He's in Washington, D.C. But he just wanted to present these to Dolly and Kris and Gilbert, just in recognition of their service or what's sure to be outstanding service over the next few years.
Thank you, Ashley.
My name is Steve Team, Cupertino resident. Congratulations, Dolly, as a newly elected mayor. And with your vast amount of experience and knowledge, and a council member and many community organizations and a teaching professional, I bet you're going to be a terrific mayor. And I look forward to working with you, and also looking forward to listening to your State of City's address in the Rotary and the Chamber luncheon in the late January. And congratulations, Orrin, my friend, as a newly elected vice mayor. We've been working and traveling together for several times for Rotary and the international humanitarian project. I learned from those trips that we took together that you are the man that I'm very impressed with, a big heart and dedication, and always stay calm and build consensus. I appreciate those opportunities to work with you, and looking forward to work with you in the future. And Kris, my dear friend, that one thing I want to say, now you retire from the mayorship, and Jean just told me that you need to spend more time with him.
Where's the flowers?
But seriously, that the election that you have received the highest number of votes, it speaks. And you, for many things you have done in the past 4 years, the track record have won support from me and my family, and also from the community. And I, again, look forward to work with you for many more years to come. And now, Gilbert, my dear friend, that congratulations to be elected as a newly elected council member. And your experience in the city planning, your leadership in the community organizations, and also that your effort to reach out to the all segment in the community are well appreciated. Congratulations to you all.
Madam Mayor, since your directive is brevity, I will follow that directive and just say Congratulations to Orrin and Dolly, and thank you, Kris, for a great year as mayor. But I especially want to welcome my colleague and buddy on the Planning Commission, Gilbert Wong, who I've spent the last 4 most enjoyable years with. Gilbert has been tireless. He's been energetic. He cares about the community. I'm fully confident he's so well qualified that he's going to hit the ground running, and we're going to see great things from him. Congratulations, Gilbert.
Thank you very much, Marty. Really quick, I mean, what I told people is that even though going from the Planning Commission to the City Council, I said it's the same dais, same seat, I'm just on a different night with more work.
That's right. And speaking about work, we're going to work at having some fun in a moment here. I would be remiss in my duties if I didn't. Where's Ram? Ram Gopal. Yeah. Ram, if you look at this beautiful cake in front with that gorgeous chocolate topping, which, by the way, belongs to the mayor, which is me. Which is me. Ram, thank you so much for your bakery, Cupertino Bakery, right across the way, making this cake, congratulating us for our change in leadership, congratulating Richard for well, not for retiring, but in his retirement. And Ram, please send a big hug to Nikki for my personalized cake that she sent me. I will eat that later tonight. And with that, I think I will adjourn this part of the public session, and we will go and celebrate.